Hey everybody, it's Kay Johnson, your confidence specialist, your coach, your friend, and your family. I want to talk today a little bit about demolishing your ego. It's wrong. Your ego will lead you in so many places that it's just like, no, it's not about that. A lot of times when we think about ego, it's like this part of you that thinks everything is about you. It's like that you think the world revolves around you. And it's a harsh reality sometimes because some of us have been cultivated in that way. And I've learned that, unforgiveness is a part of that ego. You don't want to forgive people because you feel like you're justified, you're validated, and feeling the way you feel. And you very well might be like that person might have really just, you know, did some horrible stuff to you. You might have been in a relationship that was terrible for your sanity, for your health, or whatever the case may be. But a lot of the times, that ego can tell you it's all about you. I remember listening to Oprah and she was talking about the ego with the guest speaker. And it was just talking about how, like, you could be with friends and you think that they're supposed to, let's just say, invite you somewhere. And that ego tells you what they're supposed to think of me and all this stuff. And it's just like, no, you gotta demolish that voice that think it's all about you all the time to the point where that you're not able to have fruitful relationships. Demolishing the ego comes with a certain level of humility. I'm really asking you and I'm really just challenging you to have a certain level of humility. Are you able to have humility when it comes to relationships? Whether that's with your supervisor, in your ministry, with your friends, with your husband, with your siblings, parents, grandparents. It requires a level of humility to follow and to be submitted unto authority. And a lot of the time, the ego is it wants what it wants, how it wants it. And it always wants to be validated and justified in what it wants. It doesn't want you to hear wisdom. The ego wants you to sit back and just do whatever if you feel like doing. So in order to demolish the ego, some steps that you can take is like fasting. Fasting means turning down your plate, meaning not eating, and helping the ego be subjected to a discipline. The ego does not like discipline. The ego does not like you disciplining your tongue. The ego wants to talk nasty and rude to people. That's what the ego wants to do. So one of the biggest ways to demolish the ego is to fast. And the second way to do that is to pray and meditate. And things are going to come up as you do this, where you're going to learn how to put the ego into subjection because it's not right all the time. Being unforgiving, being bitter, walking in woundedness, walking in hurt, walking around with a chip on your shoulder, it's not cool. And so as a practice, we have to do this in our entire lives because there are going to be certain instances, certain situations, certain circumstances that is going to challenge the ego. And it's going to give you a choice right in that moment to think or to just go just like that. So today I challenge you to demolish the ego with discipline. Demolish the ego with the discipline of your mouth, a discipline of your mind, a discipline of how you use your heart. Be careful how we talk to people. And our dreams, our mouth, and our life is going to follow what our mouth is saying. And so if you just allow your ego to do whatever, say whatever, think whatever, then guess what? Whatever is going to happen. Whatever you're saying. So I encourage you to put the ego in check. Every situation is not happening to you. Some things are happening for your growth, for your development, for your later years. And this is a message for me too. So I lean into this as I speak to myself. Because we're all evolving and transitioning and transforming into different levels and realms and dimensions with different people and situations. So we have to demolish the ego and be mature enough to have a discipline in our perspective. Okay? So make sure that you share this with 7 people. And if this demolish your ego inspiration touched you, I want you to send me $11 because this is going to mark the spot where you were changed. This is going to mark the spot of investing into your disciplined self. It's not easy, but this is going to mark the spot. These $11 is going to mark the spot. If you want to give more, then give more. But mark the spot where your change has started to come. You're no longer your old self anymore. And if you hadn't gotten the Beginner's Vibe Guide, you can get that at inspirebosses.com. You can hit me up and I'll send you a direct link to get you one, and I'll send you one in the mail. But the ego has to be demolished because there is greatness waiting on the other side of that. There is purpose. And you can't get to that purpose when your ego is talking you out of it. Okay? I love you, family. I love you, friends. And remember to be inspired because we are healthy, wealthy, and wise. Peace. Share this with 7 people.